Hi everyone, it's Angel 111 Muna Mohammadi. Today, there's no good news. And when there's no good news, you don't look good. You don't look good. There was a very huge celestial event that happened today. And if you're sensitive enough to sense energies and everything, you will feel it. There was a lot of endings and new beginnings. The trick today was one thing. 1010. Let me show you the secrets. I did see already in I was listening to Coffee Cup reading, Cognitive Universe. I like her readings. And she said, be careful with someone who's, whatever information you're giving, they're using it for their new beginning. They have no idea what they're doing. They can't compete where they can't compare, because there's a difference when you study something. There's a difference when you're born with it. And there's a difference when you master the art. But when you have it as a gift and you master the art, you're invincible. So even when they copy, of which I have plenty of them, that's why they censor my phone, because the third party wants to be seen on the screen with the Muhammad Gharib group and Qatar and so on. Little do they know, it's not supposed to be done that way. You're supposed to learn, not manipulate. Now, this is what happened today. 10, 10, 20. This date has a very big code. It's a universal transmission code 10-10-2024. When you look at this, what's the common number? We have a 0, we have 1s, and we have 2s. If you remove the 0, we have 1, and then we have another 1. When you combine, bring them together, forget this. Let me just put it here. This is 11. I'm just going to write this also. I know it's going to be a little bit mathematics, but I don't want the failure of mathematics here, because they've lied a lot. These people are going to, let me not go deeper. The first things first. This was the code of today. It happens like, this is just today, once in a year. So I don't know when we're going to have such a celestial event again. When you take the 1 and the 1, you have 11. 11 is a master number where you master the art. But at the same time, it means you have reached a climax of 10 and you have an amplified 1. So whatever cycle you have gone through, either you emerge as a winner or you emerge as a loser. When you emerge as a winner because you're going back to 1, the cycle here, because of the mastering, if you fail to master, this karma is amplified. If you mastered your lesson and you're starting a new beginning, clean slate, then it means you've become a master, which means you are starting not as a new beginner, as an amateur, but you're starting from experience, because you learned your mistake and you're going to start afresh, as you have mastered whatever mistake you've made, so you're starting afresh. If you have mastered being a manipulator, then this is now coming back to you, but in a double way. Because the universe, what it will give to you is everything will be odd. 11 is an odd number. And it's only on the good part of gematria, for example, or numerology, that 11 is a master number and it's a healer, that it can heal. That's why when you start afresh, because of what experience you have, you're starting with experience, with the experience that you went through. You're starting again, not as an amateur, but you know what you went through. Should this problem come, I know how to maneuver and never go back, so that I don't create karma. But if you fail to master your problem, then here is the manifestation of double trouble. Whatever you did, whatever you dished out throughout the cycle, it's coming back in two. And this will come and hit straight to your stability. I'll explain everything. So we had either we finish everything or we have everything. The main thing is 10 in tarot, which is the guideline in spirituality. We have a 10 of cups, whereby you have a new beginning. And that is where that's the beautiful part of it. If you have a 10 of cups or a 10 of pentacles during this cycle, and these frequencies click with this numerology, then believe me, where you are heading now, this is the key you will be given with the star. Pluto right now is heading, it's currently in Capricorn. And what is it about? Why did it go by? It's retro, if I'm not wrong. And even if it's not, it's because they're showing me here Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn, and Pluto is going back. So it's more like a and we know Capricorn is the sign where it has constriction, but at the same time it's the hierarchy system. How will it affect us? The only way this is going to affect us is our lineage. Remember, I did tell you there's a transit, Capricorn transiting in Pisces, which means receiving the keys or you lose it all. The worst part is now Pluto is in Capricorn, where it's standing there. Are you receiving the key? Okay. I'm not touching you. You're dealing with the 12th house, where your ancestors now have given you the key, the Hierophant type of energy, and you're blessed. So your new cycle comes in, you are becoming a master. You have a very stable new beginning if you passed that test. And I've been warning people for a very long time. If you fail, Pluto is crushing your entire hierarchy system, which is your lineage. And for most of us here, if you have failed, it's your tree of life going down. When you have a tree of life, it means destroyed. That means you have lost your spiritual identity and you become slaves in the spiritual world, which means anybody now can take you and use you spiritually. You will see these things happening. Especially, you're going to find karma will automatically orchestrate this. Like to me, it happened today. I didn't even expect it. And until everything was done, then my guys were like giving me the information. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. If someone is a manipulator and they're trying to be sneaky, it's through this energy that their cycle now will be turning the tables against them. For example, I was out, had some errands to do, and Bilal's father called me earlier first. He said, I have been diagnosed with corona. I said, no, I don't think so. And he said, I tested positive. Those kids, I am suspecting something because we did see a manipulation of Donald Trump. Turkey did it again. Donald Trump and Macron, is it? It's Joe Biden. I don't know. They were talking secretly and sent COVID kits. So they wanted to create that illusion in reality, and they started hurting others. Someone who was attacked was my mother in Kenya. She was affected. It was through this manipulation here with the third parties and the lies. And you will not believe the person who did this. That's why I'm telling you, this is extremely important. It will change your life forever. Today, and there's no looking back because the sun has set, so a new beginning. The day has begun. A new day has already begun. We are out of 10. Until midnight, we're in 11. But for those who know, you know, the day always starts after sunset spiritually, and even in the other holy religions. So he told me I tested positive for COVID. I was like, okay. He said, I need you to get me a paper from the doctor. I knew there was manipulation because someone was just calculating all this, all because of the Aisha. To get paper, to go doctor, blah, blah, blah. I went, I had my backup. Their plan was to get the paper, but I was 10 steps ahead. And I did what I had to do. Fast forward, I called him, do you want something to eat? Because he has COVID, he can't go out. And I know he has not stopped at home because it came off guard. He said, yeah, please get me shawarma. 2 of them. I was like, okay. And then I got him also a drink. And I bought something for Bilal. Then I went to him, dropped everything, and then I came home. While I was on my way, I knew what was happening behind the scene because I was already updated. But the manipulation is someone was using the whole scenario and trying to create like, we are moving in together. He lives alone. But because we have an Ali and we have a Sinan here who was trying to manipulate the situation, was like trying to create it, especially the woman who was a liar that was using my identity pretending she's Mima and she's living with, married to Sinan, which one of them is that Sarah as well. So we are moving in together. We are reconciling. Look at the manipulation. We are moving in together. The other one is creating the illusion, Ali, and that they are moving in with their wife. All this, it's, you know how it goes down here. When someone is killed there, they're looking for a place to survive. Unfortunately, there is no family unit there. So how do you move in together? That is where they failed and they got their first 10. Their manipulation, thinking they're running to safety, led to their deprivation. They destroyed their own family. So a father, mother, and two kids. They destroyed themselves. So this is a practical example of what? Energy manipulation, word manipulation, situation manipulation that can ruin your reality. And that's exactly what happened. So that's just a simple example. Now, as I said, if you have the 10 of Cups, it means you have secured your family. So these people thinking in their head they have secured their family, unfortunately, they mastered the manipulation. And now they are destroying their lineage. Pluto is going to destroy their tree of life. These people will have no recognition in the spiritual realm. And by default, now, in the eye of the universe, the spiritual realm, they are slaves. Yep. That's why I'm telling you, spirituality and occult is extremely sensitive. If you don't know how it works, it can ruin your life and you wonder, but why all this? And I'm praying and I'm clean. One simple mistake. And especially now, it's becoming common because we use social media a lot. And whatever games being played here, it can ruin your life without you knowing. So this is where now this family has failed because they went to a lineage which is not theirs and they forgot Saturn ruling Capricorn is transiting in Pisces. So what happens? Pluto is there, transiting in Capricorn, and it's ready to destroy. And you know, Pluto has no reincarnation. So this was a big test. And now you'll understand why I left. There was a 77, 78. Those who are watching how my money number goes. And they thought they're smart. They didn't know it was a heavy trap. Where is your scale balancing? And I will tell you, this is why we have an 8 here, and I left an 8 there. Where is your scale balancing? Are you going to have a rebirth, or you are dying? Pluto is killing you, the transit, in your lineage and your family tree, and you are going to be in the card of the devil. And I remember I explained this very well when I did the 2 readings. Even in Rosh Hashanah, I mentioned it, but mostly in the new moon in Libra. I explained it in depth. Don't fall for any simple manipulation. Let everything flow naturally. Trying to control anything will cost you, and it might cost your entire lineage. And this is exactly what is happening. 10 of Cups is the family, lineage, marriage. How do you go as a family unit to live in a territory, even if it's energetically, and it's not your bloodline? You just share the same name, Ali, but it's not your home. They're not your blood. You're not related. And you're taking a whole family to start something there. Securing a family unit, it means that's your foundation. That's your four. But somebody killed their own four trying to fit in a shoe that is not there. And now what is happening? Here we go. Because the transiting of Saturn in Pisces is all about your past life, your lineage, your ancestral. You are locking your natal chart by default because 12th house, Piscean. And the transit is taking place there. So are you qualified to receive your keys because your ancestors want to give you the key when you are in the right place? When you have done that job? When you deserve it. But failure to do so, Pluto is going back and it's doing its job. Burning the tree of life. Which means you didn't want to recognize your own. You are greedy for something else. So I'm going to take all these blessings from you. And because of that, you're going now to be a slave. And that's why the devil card has shackles. You're going to be a slave and you will be used. Dark forces, the dark world, a sold soul. So it's like someone has sold their entire family off. Which is dangerous because now it will be passing for generations. Forget about the curse of that star, 18 years. And that matrix I told you about. The star I was speaking about. Of course, my knowledge has been stolen by somebody else and they're sitting there pretending like they're the ones. Especially hiding in the G because it's so G8. So all the Scorpios have a head like a pumpkin. Ooh, thinking it's all about them. With the Vindhya matrix. No. You don't recognize what you have. You have not been appreciative of what you have. You are trying to fit in somebody else's life path, lifespan, life purpose, or manipulating somebody else's life purpose. Well, you have sold your soul and that transaction has taken place today. When the sun was setting, the doors were being closed. Pluto burns the tree of life. You become a slave of where you go. Whatever you do, you will never rise above. Because you decided to sell yourself away, you sold your soul. And you have no backup now in the spiritual realm to fight for you. It's because Pluto is burning. And you know Pluto is a planet that burns everything to ashes and has no reincarnation. Unlike Piscean energy, where you can recycle life, you can get back what is from your past life. And if you're very good in occult, you know how to can mix timelines and even escape many calamities. which is a deep knowledge. It's not something for me to discuss, and it's a secret. But this is exactly what happened. Sealing of your own fate by your own actions. So most of the people didn't know this knowledge. And you know what is disappointing me? Most people here pretend to be life coaches or spiritualists. They know spiritual warfare. They don't teach people and enlighten them matters that can ruin their life without spell or anything. People have worshipped here voodoo doctors, witchcrafts, warlocks, witches. Those are the people they listen to because it's easy for them to manipulate you to get out money from you. And even manipulate the energy in the dark forces to give you what you deserve. Souls. But it's hard, very hard, to find somebody who will sit and enlighten you with knowledge that they can tell you, listen, there's an upcoming celestial event, and this and this and this is happening. Leave alone astrology. Like what Lada is doing, she will enlighten you. This alignment with this celestial event and this transit is going to do this and this and this. But that's different. But enlightenment of occult, real occult knowledge, it's rare. This is something which was done back then. That is why even in Kabbalah, they had students who will live in a place for a certain period of time and they are trained. And it's a secret. Then when they dispatch, the knowledge is not dead, they pass it to the right people. We have a whole spiritual community here. I'm sorry, but I'll have to rant. It's full of shit. I've seen people calling themselves masonry here. You call yourself a grandmaster. Why don't you sit and enlighten people the right way instead of teaching them the dark world of sacrificing? Because we do, let's be honest. You want occult knowledge, isn't it? I'll give it to you. If it's the Mason, Illuminati, they have the right wings and they have the left ones, which are the dark. And I'm not saying because just I'm lefty, that's no. It means they have a lighter version where they will guide you. You can be everything. Then you have a darker version where you sell your soul. And then you will do anything, whatever you are told. Pee on your holy book and you will pee on your holy book. I'm not insulting the Masons or Illuminati or such things. They know my grade. I'm a 33 by default. No buts, no ifs. Otherwise, I will not be where I am today. I stayed 33 years of my life. I'm 43 now. Since I was 10, I was thrown in the matrix. And I went through a lot of training. And that's why you see I'm doing these things with the fingertip. I don't need so many tools. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. But it doesn't come overnight. Here we have somebody, she's just 18, and she wants to come and teach people knowledge, thinking she knows everything. Let's hear from him and then we copy. That's wrong. So now I'm addressing these occultists here. Where is that community where people were being enlightened by such celestial events? You know how to secure your community, that they don't fall in the traps. There's nothing. And when I try to be vocal, you're bringing me chihuahuas. Or sorry, no offense, but I'm calling you out. People comes here, we are the Orishas. Okay, you are the Orishas. Tell me more about your Orisha. They can't go beyond the knowledge they have in the books. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And that's why we have very rare real information. And when it's there, it's very well hidden. How many books are hidden in Vatican and there are so many Christian secrets? How many knowledges do we have? We have even inside holy places, in Islamic holy places, they hide some information. They know where the Mahdi will be and everything. I spoke about it. The Mahdi comes from a cave, has lived in a cave for 40 years before he will appear to fight. I told you how Nabi Isa will come back. Jesus. He will appear after Fajr prayer when the sun rises, and he will have a pale yellow outfit, 2 pieces. It's not a dress, 2 pieces. That's how he will appear. They will never share this knowledge easily. Why? Because when you enlighten a community, it's not easy to manipulate the community. And I'm not saying this because we need to manipulate the community, no. But for example, you are running here, people worship, whoa, astaghfirullah. Some people do that. Like you worship your leader. But for me, it just, you follow your leader. You are an inspiration to the community. What you're supposed to do is, when such heavy celestial bodies happen, such information comes, you're supposed to enlighten your community. You move them. So you keep on realigning your community and guide them to the right path until your last breath. If that's really your life purpose. I'll give an example. For example, ascended high prophetess, I was saying that I was just pissed the shit off here. Which is that lying Scorpio? How do you call yourself a prophetess? You will feel I'm attacking you, but this is a fact I'm giving you because you are wrong and you are destroying your family. The same thing why I told Odis I'm not investing in you. Because you have put yourself and your family in religion, but you don't practice it the way it's supposed to be done. I'm sorry, I'm not judging you, but I have to give you the facts. You want attention in the social media, posting churches and this and that. But what's the point of preaching water and you're drinking wine behind the scene? I was saving you from this shit, but you still went ahead and you tried the whole day to manipulate everything here with the group of others. And that's why I told you this group is going down. Do you know why now? When I was trying to save you, you thought I'm against you. You destroyed your own family with your own hands. Had you listened to me and minded your own business today, put your hands off and you will not start with your churches, believe me, you will have been saved. But you screwed your own family and your lineage now. Every time I try to help you, you take this the opposite way. Same with the Soltera. Someone thought it's an entry. I told Shakira, okay, I'm dancing this song today. There are songs I danced today. I told her there's a curse in this song. Shakira, don't use this for an entry. Somebody did it on purpose and is using it. I think it's that Smile or it's, I don't know, Virgo, whoever. This person now has cursed themselves. And the person who knew this knowledge did not pass it the right way because they're manipulating. They're all going down together. Because this is the biggest danger. When you have the knowledge and you don't pass it to enlighten the community, you are at fault. Because on the judgment day, you will be asked, why didn't you tell them? We passed the knowledge to you. We chose you to be the one who's receiving it and then move it forward. Why didn't you pass that knowledge to them? So you are guilty just like them. And that's exactly what happened. And I knew somebody will lie because they want to destroy somebody else. So that person will be destroyed. But what about you? You knew it and you lied, so you're going down with them. And that comes to that team with Soltera. Anita being one of them. Always competitive, trying to prove a point. Roman revenge, no. They were Roman fucked you. And I'm telling you, Team Soltera, cut that shit. You are sold out. I'm not stupid to secure Shakira in one corner. This group has really destroyed themselves. So back to you, prophetess. How old are you? Just tell me, how old are you? How did you qualify until you become a prophetess? When you're out here showcasing your body to men, but you are trying to preach, what is your example to the young community? You're young. What is your example? Tell me. Inspiration, or are you trying to seduce? Because even your outfit speaks volume. If you're really a preacher, you know how it goes down, right? Go back to history. How are the people in the churches dressing? This is the reason I told you today I'll be passing to the churches. And I made a video and I showed you. They know me there. Because I have Christian friends, even from far away. When I sense they have problems, sometimes I just go through the church and they give me a candle and they will tell me, okay, light it here. I tell them openly, I'm not a Christian, but I'm doing this for someone. Just allow me. And they say, it's okay. This is why I'm open-minded, because you never know who is going to help you tomorrow. I'm here in a foreign country. When I was sick, I had nobody. My mama is not here, nobody. Just my in-laws were around. My son was just 2. Now he's 15. Do you know who was helping me? The Green Sisters. Go to Joseph Hospital, those who are in Wiesbaden. You will see them. They have a chapel down there. They have old women called the Green Sisters. That was someone who will always come and give me inspiration. And she told me it's not about your religion. We all worship one God. But you need this prayer. And I was always welcoming her. She even brought a Bible for me to read. While I had my own Quran, I was reading during my cancer therapy, because I stayed for so long in the hospital. So that's what I'm telling you. You never know who will be there for you when you need the most. My family came, visited me, my siblings, they left. My in-laws were here, but not full time. Even Bilal Star was next to me, but not full time. At night he has to go. I feel lonely sometimes. And sometimes the sister will come, even at night. Say a prayer for me before I go to bed. Total stranger, but she acted more than a mother. So it was not about religion, it's the humanity. And that's how we are supposed to serve one another. Look at the churches which are here. Now let's talk about you churches of Africa. You have a limo from one corner to another, while your worshippers are coming miles away, walking on foot. Then you're coming here telling me you're a fucking prophetess? Today was the last day I will see you here. I don't want to see your group here and your fucking lies, because you are lying to the core, and I will not allow this thing to happen right under my nose. When I had a dream and I was told you have to tell Audrey it's time for prophethood, for priesthood, ask Audrey, what did I tell you? Quickly. Put out his clothes, put on the robe, and went for his life purpose. And to date, I've not said anything. He was called. They were called. It was not Audrey alone. Audrey was called with somebody else. I gave 2 names, I remember. And they all went immediately. So it's not about religion. When someone is being called, it means they have a life purpose. Maybe there will be one wrong move. Somebody will take them to the street. They can be thugs. They can do a lot of shit. Prostitution, killing. But when the time came and the calling came through me, even though I'm not a Christian, I sent it to them. And straight, they hit the call. But when it comes to you, I'm sorry, I will call you out. There is something so fake about you. And why today I'm telling you this? Because I have to make you understand. I'm not exposing you, but you are destroying your own family. This is your lineage. You are stripping your family. Your hierarchy in your tree of life. You will need to protect it because you are in the wrong place and you're not ripe for that job. But you're doing it because of ego. You're trying to control, manipulate. You want to be seen as something you're not. That's not your life purpose. You'll hate me. You'll say, she's doing this. I'm going to attack her. Do the spells, whatever you want to do. This is why I'm telling you. Why am I here? You want occult knowledge? I'll give it to you. Are you enlightened now? Stop selling a pipe dream to your congregation. You are doing this because you think this is your stability. This goes to that cancer also. Suddenly you became a priest. Like in a Willy Pose. They're busy dancing, making money. But look at the things they do behind the scene. Adultery 101. And many other things I'm not going to say. You are doing it because of stability. But today I'm ending it. And that's why we have a 10. And if you don't stop, this is a curse now in your families. Stop it. This young generation who is using religion to cover up because of your ego from your family, laundering money in the name of God, the house of God. You're not ripe. You don't have the right information and you're not fully trained. You come here calling yourself you're an ascending prophetess, and you just want that recognition because you want your ego to be fed. You're wrong. This is your 10-10. That's why I'm telling you today, you want raw messages, I'll give you. But don't get angry because there's no good news. To the rest, this is what I was telling you. See, lineage, family. Build the right thing. But when you do it with ego, this is what you get. So now, let's continue with this occultic numbers. So now you have understood how the 11 comes in, what role it plays. It can destroy you, and it's a new beginning for the destruction. Or you can master the art and be a master healer, a master in everything. Do you understand me? Then, this is for all the 10-10. We have 0 in numerology. Like 0 has no number, especially when it's in front. I mean, yeah, it's in front of here. But when it comes here, it is an amplification of 1. So 1 with 1 0 is already 10. The number has increased the value. But now we have pulled the ones away. We just have double zeros. What do you understand here? Our eyes, the gateway to our soul. If our eyes, which is the gateway to our soul, can see this is wrong, and we know it is wrong, but we still put a blind veil and do the wrong thing to satisfy our selfishness, this is how the destruction comes in. And how is the destruction comes in? No product. When you add 0 with 0, what do you get? Nothing. When you look at it properly, 0 and 0, that's the what? Beginning. Ending of a cycle, beginning of a cycle. Completion. And that's why when we have rotation, when something rotates or revolves, after a certain period, for example, I'll give you the quickest. Like the Earth is 1 year, 365 days, we have finished the cycle. With the Mercury, 88 days, the quickest, because it's the nearest to the sun. 88 days, finish the cycle. Here you are, 10-10, you have finished a cycle. It's a lesson. It can be a span, a decade. That's a cycle. Maybe you have done this for the last 10 years, 10 days, 10 months, 10 weeks. It has formed a habit. If you didn't learn, well, your cycle has ended. Your new beginning is what? 0. So you have mastered nothing, and that is how the 11 becomes your enemy now, which is this things you have seen. The 10 of swords, 10 of wands. Still, the curse is now going to be going on and on like this, going round and round. It's never ending, because unfortunately Pluto has destroyed it because you didn't want it, and Pluto is out there cleaning the planet. It's destroying everything in Capricorn, which is the hierarchy system. Let's just transit in there. If you look at the year 2024, the vibration, let's look at the numbers. We have 202. 2, it takes 2 to tango. We have 2 eyes, 2 holes here, 2 ears, 2 lips, 2 hands, and most of the body is, if you look at our anatomy, everything is in pair. Everything is in pair. So you have your yin and your yang, including the brains. We have it that way. The conscious is active. The subconscious sends the right signals. But what do you feed in your subconscious that it will make the conscious to be active and make the right decisions? Your habits. And how do you get your habits? Your heart knows, you feel it, you see it, but you just say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll do it this way because I want to win. So you have already sent a negative aspect in your brain. And then it will return this message when you sleep. It always sends a signal. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. So you wake up and you have that habit. It's a routine. I spoke about the triggering. I sent out the time management. That is a very vital information about that too. So here, the 2 and the 2 comes to 4. 4 forms our what? Stability. What is our stability? When you have your habits, that's your stability. I have a routine to keep myself healthy. That's your stability. How do you do it? I do sports, I swim, I jog, and such things. Then for others, how you also earn your day-to-day finances. Many ways. It's like, how do you secure your life? Your 4 basic needs. Shelter can imply your basic needs when it comes to your health and your security as well. If this 2 and 2, they always say it takes 2 to tango, isn't it? If the 2 and 2 brings you to 4, and then you have 2 and 4, which comes now to 6, I'll give you now, this is where the problem comes in. Sorry, I have to cancel it. It's 10. I hope you can see. Oh. I'm sorry. I want to make it very simple for you because I'm trying to calculate in many angles. Okay, I'll give you the whole concept. It's no problem. I'll give you the 4 concept and I'll give you the 6 concept so you understand everything clearly. I just hope I'll not confuse you. So the 2 plus 2 comes to 4. But then we have, this is the 20. You took the 2, you left the 0, you took the 2, you have the 4. But at the same time, then we have 24. If you take the 2 and the 4, what do we come with? 6. What is 6? That's the vibration of our day-to-day activities. That's what I'm telling you, it's forming a habit. Virgo. Virgo rules all the 6th house. Our day-to-day activity, daily activities, our work, everything that we do on a daily basis, that brings us our stability. But if you can also calculate this version, this way, I don't want to be complicated. This mathematics sometimes can take you out of alignment. We have the 2 and 2, which is 4, right? Then we have 2 and 4, which comes to 6. But if we just check, we have this 202, which came to 4, then we are left with what? 4. So we have another 4. Again, stability is the main agenda. Do you get me? 202 is 4 because we took the 2 and 2, it's come to 4. Then we have the 2 plus 4, which comes to 6, which is coming to the Virgo 6th house. But because we have taken the 2 and 2 here, so when we take them out, we are left with 4. When you bring it down here, again, we have another 4, which is stability. So if you compare the whole 2024, what do you get? Initially, it's supposed to be 8, isn't it? Because 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. That's what we get. What does that mean? The 8th house is death. And that's where the transformation comes in. That's why this year, I did say it's more like a melancholy year. If you don't know how to use this energy, it can really disappoint you because it's the onset of destruction. It's the onset of destruction. Because you have to die and transform, or you die and die for good, which means total changes, chaos, and everything. So where do you lie here? Because either way, if you look at 2024, 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 4 is 8. And if you look at this vibration of 202, which we took just the 2s without the zeros, we came to 4. And then we pulled the 4 down. Even when we add it, it still comes to 8. Do you see now how the numbers can really mathematics? And this is what is very important. It's just the tip of the iceberg when we look at the matrix, when we look at the frequencies, how you build them. This is nothing. So I'm just giving you it's like kindergarten work. But I know still for others it might be confusing. How you pull them down and then break them down. Then you build them again and then dissect them again. So we have now, since we have 4 as common here, when you take 4 plus 6, because this 2 plus 4 came to 6, right? Then we have a 4 here, we have a 4 here. We leave this 4. Just take this 6 plus 4. It comes to 10. What's the date today? That's the 10. That's the 10. So we have a third 10. And we have to get 4 10s from this number. I will give you the secret. So we have the third 10 now. 10, 10, and the 10. How am I going to get the fourth 10? Now this comes in here. When you take 1 plus 1 from the 11, which we pulled the 1 and 1, which we had 11, initially it's 2, but we pulled it down as 11 because it becomes the master number. But now when you add it, it comes to 2. It becomes what? 2. How do we get this now down here? You bring down the 2. You divide it. When you take this 2, divide it to 10, what do we have? A 5. This is where now the big game comes in. We have a 5. How are we going to get this other 10? And we have broken it down. This is what happens. If you are trapped in that Piscean energy, where the transit of Capricorn, of Saturn goes, we have a past life, isn't it? If you earned your key, do you know what happens? This 5 becomes the 5th position of your planet in the universal position, and that's Jupiter. And what does Jupiter do? It always amplifies everything by 2. So you have a 5. Now, this is how we're going to find the other 5 is if you have the key, if you know you have done the job, everything is okay. Believe me, the Hierophant card has 2 keys, isn't it? So your 5 times 2 becomes the 10. And you have the 10s, 4 of them, you're good to go. And that is how your stability is built. You come back now and get this other 4. And your mathematic question is solved. That was the secret vibration of today. If you failed, then Saturn, in occult also is written like 5, if you look at the ancient numbers. And that is where the same transit of Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, which is in Pisces, is denied access by your ancestors. There's no, because they have burnt the tree of life, you have no more connection with your ancestors, you have been enslaved. So what happens? The devil card steps in. So these 2 now that you need to fight for, those who are in good blessings, they got the 2 keys. And that is what helped them with the 5 from Jupiter, amplify the gift and the present that they're getting from the actions, what they have done, they get the 10. But for those who failed, because 5 is Saturn in occult, what does it mean? It means you are in the devil card. And what does the devil card look like? Shackles of 2 people. And one of them, the tail is burning. And you take your oath even with the left hand, which means you're not taking an oath to God, you sold your soul. And that is how you become a slave, because you have been detached from your lineage and your ancestors have thrown you to the dark world because you're considered a soul or you sold your lineage. And game is over. Now calculate. How many of you have stolen money, even energetically? How many of you? How many of you have lied to get a job? How many of you are living with an identity that's not even yours? That's why I always tell my moderators, if you're moderating for me, acknowledge my work. Well, this is from Mima. I'm representing Mima. I am not Mima. I'm representing Mima. That's what you need to tell the people. But when you take my videos, like right now, I'm doing the reading, and then you go out and say, I am Mima Muhammad Edie, because you stole papers and you are abusing your power, then you are in this 5 of souls. I know it's very heartbreaking. And this is why when you are working any job that has to do with service, why are people first given oaths? When you're going anywhere to bear witness or testify, why are you given a holy book and take oath? This is the secret. This day, I don't know when it will come again, but these are days that will come sometimes once in maybe 50 years, this vibration, and then it just disappears. Like the way I told you, the star, it appears 18 years and then it disappears. It will, affect you for 18 years and then it comes back again. So the effect right now, those who are wrong and they've been put in those squares, 18 years they're going to have this problem. And what was today was the seal day. And that's why I was telling many people, make sure you're doing the right thing, because the upcoming Friday is the crushing of Venus. This is what was going to happen. Because whatever will be confirmed now, it's unfortunately on Friday, because we're all ruled by Venus. This is the day the judgment will be passed. Your ancestors are no more. You become a slave. And when you're a slave in the spiritual realm, any entity can use you. The only one that can be spared, those who are really authentically praying and really have faith that I'm not forsaken. I have God. He gave me this life and will take me out through all these trials. Your prayers is what is going to now help you. You don't have a family tree, a tree of life, but it's through your prayers that you are kept in a vibration of what? The beam of light. Now, I don't mean light as in a person here. But imagine you go through all this mess, fuck up so much, do a lot of shit and this and that, and then on top of that, you're not even a person who knows how to protect yourself through prayers or do such things. What happens? You're gone and gone for good. And now you are affecting how many lineages? For example, you're still not married. And you have done this bullshit. So what happens? You meet someone who doesn't know anything also about you, but you lied, got married, have kids, you are passing this curse. Now you wonder, why is my family not functional? Why is... I saw my wife, she thought she was successful. I was having a good time. I married this woman, I married this man, my life is changing. Something is wrong. It's not for everybody because sometimes it's just fate. It can hit you. There are trials from God. We have to accept. Allah will test you with everything. We are always told, Al-mal wal-banuna zinatul hayat ad-dunya. Our wealth and children are nothing but a test for this world. So such things can happen. But specifically, there are people who you have been affected like this, for example. But you're going to see your life changing. And that's why I was telling you, you are going to see so many people collapsing. You're running away from taxes because you don't want to pay. It's a lot of money. Unfortunately, the ones who are down are the ones being pressed. So your wealth is not purified. Why are we Muslims even told to pay zakat every year? That's our spiritual tax. You cleanse your wealth. But at the same time, you are blessing the one who is less fortunate. And that's a plus point for you. That's your Jupiter. I will tell you, nobody lost by giving genuinely. But you don't steal or manipulate and then give in the name of Sadaqah. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. This is why I was angry to those priests and big cars or religious leaders of all religion. You come with big cars, your congregation is suffering. And you take sadaqahs. Those sadaqahs are going to your banks and your families. That's not religion. Tell me one prophet who used to do that. From all the religions, because we all know the Abrahamic book have the same knowledge, even if it's not Abrahamic. We had the wealthiest prophet we know is Solomon. But look at the other prophets. They were not rich. Why did God not make them rich? He gave them enough to sustain them because they were supposed to be a living example. Do we have that? God has given us wealth, for example. It's a test. But sometimes, even when you know it's a test and you are kind, you will find people who are manipulative and take your kindness for granted, thinking you're stupid. And this is how these people are going to go even deeper in the rabbit hole. You understand me? Get to know where you stand. I think I told somebody who played with only 40 cents, and they know I noticed from my transaction. And I told you, 40 cents can ruin your entire life. This is the secret. This can happen only. I don't know which year will have the same vibration again. And it's already ending. I don't know which year will have the next vibration again. Because I know for sure it will not. It takes time for this vibration to come. It's a big, big event. With a 5, you gain or you lose. Now you know why I'm pissed off with a person like Leo and the 500. 500 can ruin somebody's life forever. And it's about to happen. Do you understand me now? Why I did what I did today? Why I had to make an international phone call directly? Because the one I was calling Shizabu, the phone was off. And I hear the word Hamisi. So who are you fooling? 500. ruins your life forever. You ask for it. The other one, I'm trusting you, giving you an opportunity to make something. Food for people who are going to be praying, and you pocket the money, thinking you're too smart. What happens next? You will look for food for yourself now. You will have a lot of problems to find it. Did you have to manipulate? No, you broke your trust. Simple things that can ruin your life. So show me. Show me the 5 of those who have keys that is going to be multiplied to 10. Yeah, speaking the truth, cutting through the bullshit. People who have put the job, done the job, got the guidance. Maybe I'm a little bit late, but you got the guidance, and even now I'm telling you, you can right your wrongs because tomorrow is 11. After 11 is finished. After 11th, it's finished because 12th, you're finished. That's when the transit, it's the date of the transit, the zodiac, 12th zodiac sign. You can't do it on 12th. And the crashing takes place. So it's only tomorrow, the 11. Maybe this is where you can use the 11 to fix everything that you have done. I did tell you, someone knows how they manipulated and make me pay a debt that I'm not supposed to pay. I will sing about it as long as I'm breathing. Because they know they're wrong. They gave me a bill. Somebody stole checks for child support using my name. I was out of the country. They stole money and then they're making me pay. The same 5 involved, including this one. Now tell me, if your life is collapsing, are you going to say it's witchcraft? Oh, Mima did me witchcraft. And I gave you warning, return my money. And I went to the bank and they still stole some money. You're censoring my phone because you're busy pulling money from my bank. I told you, I will not do anything, but you will destroy yourselves. And this is exactly what is happening. So those who have done the job, yeah, this is your 2. 2 of Cups. In any aspect of your life, there will be a blessing. That's written and sealed in the stars. If you have done the job, yes. Male or female, you will be a king of your pentacle. King normally is between a king and a queen. King is normally the male version, which is more higher frequency. Then comes the queen. So even if you're a woman, you will be a king, which means you'll be on top of your game when it comes to your finances. Now let's talk about those who failed. These are the ones who did the job. So it's not the finances. King of Pentacle. When you have Pentacle, it means you can rule everything. You have your health, you have everything. It's like your life is in order. Most of the people, the stress comes when your finances go. But also, you can have people who have finances, but their health is not okay. But as we see here, there's protection. All you have to do is follow the guidance and meet the right people, deal with the right people. Acknowledge. Learn this. I've learned this so many times. Acknowledging somebody's work is a huge blessing. This is a secret nobody will tell you. Because unfortunately, we are humans. We always have something called ego. And we always want to feed it for it to make us feel good. But the day you will master the art of acknowledging another person's work, believe me, your elevation will be so magnificent. Because you're not going to believe what will happen to you. While you're acknowledging somebody's work, you are showing everybody your integrity. And by showing that integrity, guess what happens? You are building a trust bond with everybody, reliability, and anybody can come to you. Anyone. That's how the prophets, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, most of them were being entrusted. People will travel, and when the prophets are still there, they are entrusted to take care of wealth. Their wealth, while these people have gone. Why? It's because of such things. You don't take credit, you acknowledge. Acknowledging is something very big because psychologically it builds a natural bond of being a reliable person. Because if you acknowledge other people, it shows you don't keep anything inside. You clap when it's time for you to clap for others. Then the universe will orchestrate it. God, Allah, whatever you worship, it will, everything will be orchestrated that the same people you are clapping for, it will come a time they will all clap for you because of one single act. Integrity. You didn't lie. You acknowledged. That is what we lack in our spiritual community. Everybody is a reader until there's a spiritual war. Everybody goes behind the tables. Why? They don't know how to face the demons because they don't see anything beyond the veil. But they're out here pretending they're spiritualists. When shit hits the fan, nobody can do the job. You'll only see now the real ones stepping forward. And they go to that war. And we have it here. That's why I have very few but very strong team of spiritual warriors. Because all of these people are sitting here. I'm a tarot reader and this. I'm a psychic. Okay. Read me. I've tested some few. Read me. They are blank. Why? Because I've shielded myself. So even if they open it, they don't have third eyes. And even the sharp ones who have third eyes, when I seal myself, they can't read me. But I can see that they can't read me. So a gift is a gift. And manipulation is manipulation. Don't jump to make your child look for to become something they're not. Or harvesting, binding. It comes with a price. I was talking about somebody's death. And then they're saying, you're orchestrating your death. No, this is the reason. You binded yourself with someone who is about to be taken out. And when I alert you, you say someone is orchestrating your death. Why did I become very angry to Sarah today? Extremely angry. And I told you it's because of you. Your timeline is affecting Soros. And I'm talking about the real Soros, not these cartoons who are here representing Soros. The old man. That he might be gone before winter ends. Because the person handling him is not even a spiritual warrior. A person like him is someone who is going to, if you touch money, it comes with spirits, especially big amount of money. So a person like him, the one who is handling him, has to be very mature and very grounded. And I said it, but they didn't listen. They thought I'm jealous or I want to be. I don't want to be close to Soros. A stubborn energy, my dear. If you don't even know, tell me, I'll tell you. One hell of a headache when you tap into it. Because then the old man is stubborn. It's this way and this way and nothing but this way. Because he has his own experience, old experience. When I was teaming with a team of stock, I was even telling you in the audio, how are we flashing money here? Portal is opening, I was alerting you. Ask Lada, she was here, the team of Lada, her husband. Her husband is very good in stocks. And many others. We used to flip within an hour when the portal is open. People were making 100,000 here. Then, oh, is Mima doing it? Okay, let's harvest it. Let's take it. Let's give it to somebody else. They went and gave somebody else because she had my identity, copycat. Then people started to lose money. And that is when I said, let them stay there. They started losing money. And she knows herself here, pretending to be a stock day trader. It's like they think I'm setting up trends and then let me harvest. Let me harvest. Now watch all these people who are doing the harvesting. with their warlocks. This is nasty. Being a slave and you have no tree of life, where are you going to run to? You'll be used by every entity. Every entity. Now let me tell you, it is this time during the Halloween. People say Halloween is ghosty, da, 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 it's just a myth. It is such moments like this year, we will see a lot of souls being harvested, taken to the matrix, and they will be enslaved because they're going to be used. And I'm not talking the matrix of here, the ones they've created, false matrix, real life matrix. Captured souls. They are taken and then they're used for medical purposes, for so many things, because they're always experimenting on humans. There are other entities up there. Believe me. So it's like such moments they harvest a lot because so many people are lost. So they get an opportunity. Those who are slaves, oof, they take them. Nobody is there to protect you. So they make use of you up there. That's how it's done. And that's why October, they always say it's a month of sacrifice. It's true, it's a month of sacrifice. But they don't tell you the secret. This is the secret of the sacrifice. Whether you are in the spiritual realm, for example, when this energy happens, even in the ancient times, people who come from warlock lineages, like the vampires lineages and such, in man-eaters, and they wait for them. The warlocks are even waiting. Innocent people. They misguide them to do the wrong thing. When such energies, vibration happen, souls, once they're captured, they take them. And they turn these people because they've sold their soul. There's no tree of life to fight for them. There are no ancestors to fight for them. So what do they become? They turn them into those witches and all that. That was what they were doing back then. And that's the reason when, before the pre-Islamic era, during the Christian era, they used to fight warlocks and burn them because they knew a lot of secrets. That's what I'm telling you. I'm touching so much about the Christianity today, but that's what I'm telling you. Why do you think the Vatican holds a lot of secrets? They always say Vatican's a lot of secrets. Yes, they used to beat and burn warlocks and witches because they knew the secrets. They were capturing souls which were going to be enslaved. So they used to fight with the warlocks to save these people who have no lineages in spirituality. So this is exactly happening, and it's as I'm talking today. There is a massive harvesting. And not only here, even in the, I'm telling you, 5D, which is more of the other world where the matrix, real matrix is, they take the souls and use them. Let's see those who failed. In the era of Islam, during our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was a time he traveled. Those who know the history very well, they'll even explain it. There was a time he was traveling, and they stopped by a place where there was an oasis, and there was a Bedouins living there. And these people had no religion, nothing. But they were always saying that they questioned themselves, like, who created all these things? Even though we worship, our ancestors have told us to worship the idols. So when they were drinking water, they met a lad, a young man who was coming from that Bedouin family. And they asked, the young man was talking to them, asking them, where are you coming from, and this and that. When they communicated, and the interest came because there's something which the young guy noticed on the Prophet ﷺ, and he asked him, and then the Prophet started to give him revelation, like guidance. He got so inspired, he went inside and called his father and his brothers. When they came out, and he explained to them that this man and this group of caravan that's traveling has explained this and this and this. And the father wept. It must be someone who knows, maybe those who know hadiths and all that. The father wept of that guy, of that boy. And he said, in my entire life, I prayed that before I die, I get answers to my question and guidance to the right path. Because for sure I know the idols don't answer me. There must be something more powerful that is overseeing everything here. And when the Prophet revealed some verses of the Quran, the man wept. He turned his whole family to take Shahada and become Muslims and became believers. But since they were traveling, he helped them, gave some food and this and that, made them rest. While they were going away, he asked the Prophet, you have given me enlightenment. How am I to know more of this? Because you have changed our lives. And the Prophet ﷺ said, it's not very far, because according to that hadith, they are not very far from one another. And he said, we are traveling to this city, to this town to buy stuff, but we are located in Medina, but it's not far. You can come to Medina if you want to learn, or I can send some of my people to come and teach you. And it said, the hadiths are contradicting. Some say it's 3 times, some say it's 2 times. Somebody went there and taught them some more information, and the entire generation migrated and joined the Holy Prophet ﷺ in Medina. The father, the mother, the daughters, the whole family moved. And in Medina, they started a foundation for themselves, whereby the man became one of those people who are close to the Prophet ﷺ and made sure his children will never go back to idolatry, and build a generation whereby they're going to be learning the righteous way, because he felt lost. It didn't take long. The man passed away. And it is said he was ill before he passed away. When the Prophet ﷺ went to visit him, he told him, bless me and bless my family, and guide them to be among the righteous until we meet again. And the Prophet ﷺ accepted the young lad, the young guy, and he was among those people who was very close to him, and learned so much that he was among those people who, when the Prophet ﷺ died later in age, he was among those people who are very close to Umar radiallahu anha and Abu Bakr radiallahu anha, whereby those were the masters of the knowledge. That's a hadith I read, and I was told by my, of course, my spiritual teachers always teach me these things. And then I even counter-checked and asked some few very educated old men, and both of them confirmed to me, yes, it's true. And I was really surprised. I was like, oh, my guides are not lying to me. They told me, yes, it's true. They gave me even the name of that young man who was taken from young. He was young until he became an adult. He never, even after the Prophet's death, he didn't stop. He became even closer and closer and became one of the most knowledgeable Muslims in the community. And he was among the right hands of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, the Khalifas of the Prophet, and Umar radiallahu anhu. For those who knows the story, maybe they will explain it better. So such things can happen. A person who really gets guidance and is enlightened to become the righteous person, God, Allah will always open a way for you and you will get that guidance. Ask, pray, it will come. But if you're always the one who is very manipulative, even when the knowledge comes, God will make you deaf, blind, and you will be going to the wrong side. And that's why we say, Summun bukumun umuyun. They can't hear, they can't see, they can't even explain it because they are already shuttered off and guided to the wrong path. And this is exactly what is happening today. I don't know when again this day will happen. And that's why I'm telling you, occult comes with a lot of information. It might be very complicated, and especially when you have to know numbers, you have to know the days, you have to know planetary aspect, energy frequency. It's coming a lot in one. It's like a box. You have to know how to decode it. That's why I'm telling you, coming forward and calling yourself a spiritualist or I am this degree, it doesn't come that way. It comes with a lot of work. And believe me, sometimes I say, this gift is more like a curse than a blessing. Because I will give you an example. You know, I was singing that song of Uzuzi Sola. I opened my third eye. It was just checking on my energy. And I found out someone was planning my death. I was like, what? The reason is because of the flag of Israel. And my outfit, blue and white. I was like, oh, shit, what will I do now? I have to hide my energy. So I took as many people as I can and turned myself into a student and threw my energy all the way in the South African country because my south node is in Libra. So I was saying, like, I'm not going to exhaust myself and allow myself to be killed. I'll make use of my south node. I'm going to the South African side and hide. And I hide in a village. Nobody knew for months. You see me here, but my energy was. So even when somebody will look at me, they will see I'm not here. Like, she's not around. This person has traveled. They're in a village. Yeah, it's because I sealed my energy and threw it there and took as many people as I can. And that's why then I came with that song and I showed you. Esha P. Where's that P coming from? So, my passport. Just a moment. Where can I stop this? Yeah, I'm back here. I'm going to show you something. Let me hide everything. You can see my name. This is the most important. You don't see? You see the P here? And that's me, Mima Muhammad Idi, right? And that's how I ended up coding myself in a very big foreign language. So a language that nobody can trace me from because everybody knows I'm from East Africa. How will I know a language in South Africa? It's the only way I could help myself. And how was I going to save my mother? Even though they call me Esha here, but I'm not Esha, I'm Mima, you have seen it. Esha is my mother who gave birth to me. She's already in her 70s. So how am I going to save myself? For me to save myself and my mother, my passport, my ID, I had to use the P. It has another, my own vibration there. So I had to use the P, and that's why in that song you'll see Esha P. How did I reach those brains of those people until they came up with that name Esha P? That's my secret. So if you know this kind of occult, you will know how to save yourself. Listen to that song, Uzizo Sola. You'll understand. And if you look at the video clip, they're wearing the same uniform like when I was in high school, Star of the Sea. And I took as many people as I can. Even though my school was female, I have men that I needed to protect. So what did I do? I took some energy of the females in my group, in that photo, school photo. It's like there's a school photo. It was almost the whole class. but we are all girls. And I need to save some men. And you can't transform a man if you want to do something like this. You can't change the genders. A man is a man, a woman is a woman. And that's why I'm telling you, spirituality, there's only two genders. So if you're a trans, you can't be connected to become a woman and call yourself a woman. No, it's hard. And that's why you're just left in a limbo. You're either a man or a woman, naturally. So I took the photo, and because there are other females, and I'm not like in touch with them, and I had to like flip. I had to use their Y chromosome, which is the male one. And then what happened? With that Y chromosome, I put the male. I put the male until I had enough the men that I needed to take. And then I took off spiritually. And if you look at that clip, you will see in that school, there are also men. But in my school, there are no men. Stuff they say we were just female. But I had to do that because I needed to save some men. The plot was to take me out. Like literally, I am so fucking serious. Someone was really plotting my life. And they were going to hit me in a way that was going to be like a natural death. They're going to orchestrate it like a natural death. I was like, okay, teach me occult. I was raised in it. Teach me matrix. I was raised in it. This is where now I have to really like find my way out as much as I can and take quickly the people who are close to me that they can be hit and I'll be affected. And I took off. And I was surviving for months until I explained it like a few days ago. I explained it and I was free. And that is how they came for my mother, because they call me Esha. And we have a liar here who's using my identity, posing as the Esha. And that's why I'm telling you, people like Esha Taharer, you're going to have it. This illusion of Mima is Esha and then the younger version is Mima, that will be a problem, especially with the Mariams also. This illusion, you better end it today. It might ruin your lives. That's why I come clean and I show you whatever I have to show you. The moment I said it, we came back, pop, my mom is attacked. She has flu in Mombasa. I hope it's not COVID also. Bilal's father is attacked. They wanted to kill me. And the people close to me. And they've exposed themselves. It's not that they're not known. And this is someone who is close to me with a third party. Their third party. And I have a karmic dad and a karmic mom here in this illusion. So now when you see them going down, don't even blame me. I don't need to cast them or do anything. They have taken themselves out. Because it's justice. And they deserve it. I don't feel sorry for them. They didn't care about me. They wanted money. And they wanted to manipulate my gifts to benefit themselves. They were even put that, still doing that. I'm being hidden because they're taking my videos and airing them. They come with, chosens need to be isolated because of your superpower. Bullshit. How come the prophets were never hidden? It's because if you have a gift, you go out and teach people and enlighten them. How I talk is not how you talk. I go freestyle. You have to listen to me 1,000 times to copy, and you're still not coming up with the right content. We're not the same. So this is what's happening here.